Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today we are going to look at a quick and easy way to take down the EN06 Guardian, which is the first raid boss. I actually saw someone messing around with this in the Data Miners Discord and it looked easy enough for me to even do it, so I figured I'd give it a try, and this is where we ended up. So the ingredients to make this work, first of all, we need armor that we can actually tank the boss with. We don't have to tank it for a very long time, but you do want to be able to stay alive, so the armor doesn't have to be perfect. You could use, as long as you have stim packs, you can do a lot of healing, but you do want to be able to tank the damage from the boss. So what I have here is just a Vulcan set with troubleshooters on it. Now that 4th star isn't really doing anything, that's actually on there so I could try something else. I'm actually gonna do 2 runs here though. I'm gonna do a second run using reflective because I haven't actually tried that and I'm kind of curious to see what that does to the run. I imagine it will shorten it pretty good. You also want to have ricochet equipped because that will reflect back damage, and that's really the key to the first part of this. And then we're gonna use a melee weapon. Now I'm using a sledgehammer, but basically what you want is a weapon that will have number 1, the limb damage effect on it. The 2nd star is limb damage. And then you also want it to have a mod that you can add. So this has a mod, the heavy spiked rocket, and it adds plus 25% limb damage and 20% chance to cripple. Both of those things are important. And an auto axe. So the one I have is aristocrats with power attack damage, 90% reduced weight, and the pounders is very helpful. That is a 4-star effect. It's currently bugged right now. I think this would probably work without it, but pounders is just gonna make this go so much quicker. And we also have the Twisted Muscles mutation, and the reason for that is that chance to cripple. That's what we're looking at here, is all the limb damages and the chance to cripples. Those things will stack on top of each other, and that will help take down the shield very quickly. And I actually do have a food that's helping bring my luck up. The reason for that is just because of ricochet. The chance is 26% with the power armor and where my luck is sitting. That's not mandatory, but the higher your luck, the more chance that has to trigger, and the quicker this will go. So let's just get this thing started. Now, I'm not going to set a record time, but this is actually pretty easy. For anyone that wants to farm the bot, it's not really something I do. I like to play around and test against the bot, but farming it really isn't necessarily my thing. But if you do want to farm the bot, this is a very easy way to do it by yourself. And the idea is here, we're just going to stand here. We have that sledgehammer. You can see we have the sledgehammer equipped. And all those cripple chances should be baked into any damage that is reflected back. And what you'll see from time to time is the health bar of the shield. You see that big chunk of health with the shield, and that is the cripple chance because it can't be crippled. Instead, it just does a big chunk of damage. And so we should be able to take this down usually under a minute. I mean, it can vary pretty quickly. So there we go, 48 seconds. Now we equip the auto axe, and what you want to do, you need a jetpack, and you want to land on the robot here. You don't want to touch any of the surrounding areas because that is instant death, and we should be able to finish him off before the room overheats. Now you are fighting a little bit of rubber banding here because the damage is so high, and so the health bar will fight back a bit, but we are going to get it done before the room goes dark, and boom, 1 minute and 14 seconds, which is right around what it normally takes me to do. And there we go, there's our rewards. Easy peasy takedown of the boss there. So we're going to do the exact same thing again, except I have added reflective to all of my armor pieces, and I'm just curious what this does. I imagine it would speed it up. By how much, I really don't know. All right, here we go, run number 2. Now I'm assuming at some point any or all of this will get patched and it won't always work, but it works for now, and it's actually been kind of a fun experiment to do. So if you want to give this a try, especially during double XP weekend, this is a good way to get XP if you can't find a team to do the raids. I personally like to do the whole thing if I can get a team together, but this is a fun little thing. All right, let's see what we can do with reflective added into the mix, if it actually makes any kind of difference at all. It may not, I actually don't know. And also this can vary widely, obviously because you have a chance for things to do a thing, when you have a chance for something to trigger, the variance can actually be pretty, okay, that's pretty quick. All right, let's see if we can do this under a minute. All right, here we go. Let's see what we're doing here. We're at 50 seconds. I don't know. We're doing well. It's going to be over a minute, but it's going to be not much over a minute. So I don't think reflective actually did much. I don't think reflective actually did much at all. Didn't seem to make much of a difference. I mean, we just had, it's 10 seconds quicker, 9 seconds quicker, but that could be just variance from things having a chance to trigger. So the thing I really like about this is it doesn't take anything really amazing to do. I mean, getting your hand on pounders, I think, makes it Makes it a lot easier. Without that, you probably have to go into the blast doors one time. You may have trouble doing enough damage in one go without that mod. But other than that, I mean, it's really easy to get your hands on everything else. I mean, it's just basically any kind of melee weapon that you can mod, and most of them do have limb damage and cripple mods that you can add. Just something that has limb damage as a second star, put those extra mods on it, and you're good to go. And pretty much any power armor will work. You just need to be able to keep alive, and stim packs will do that. So yeah, I think this is something that's very easy to replicate, which is why I like it. And it was definitely a lot of fun to experiment with. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit one of the buttons, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.